It's a quiet, tense night in Buenos Aires, Argentina. The sky hangs heavy and gray, a storm gathering ominously in the distance. Two unassuming cars are parked discreetly along the roadside, separated by about 30 meters. Inside, 7 men sit in near absolute silence. Their gaze is locked onto a nearby bus stop. They are agents of the Israeli intelligence agency Mossad, and this moment is the culmination of years of meticulous planning and relentless pursuit. A bus is expected any minute now, line 203. It's supposed to carry a man coming home from work. The bus arrives, pulls up, and departs. No one gets off. A palpable tension fills the cars. Years of preparation. Could it all be for nothing? All they can do is wait. 2 agents exit their vehicle, lifting the hood to feign engine trouble, a simple cover. Time crawls by. Then the next bus rolls in. This time 2 passengers disembark, a woman and a man. The man, the one they've been waiting for. He is not just any man. He is the architect, the meticulous planner behind the murder of 6 million Jews across Europe, one of the most wanted war criminals of the Nazi era. His name is Adolf Eichmann. This is the story of the hunt for the architect of the Holocaust.
It's a cool day in January 1942. A grand villa sits on the serene edge of Berlin, overlooking a large lake. Today, it is the site of a crucial meeting. A conference attended by 15 high-ranking Nazi officials. These are educated men. 8 of them even hold doctorates. They're gathered to discuss a plan conceived by Adolf Hitler, his final solution to the Jewish question. This chilling euphemism means the systematic genocidal extermination of 11 million Jewish people. The men debate, minor disagreements arise, but the core objective, to deport and murder millions in the heart of Europe, is unquestioned. One man in particular is fervently committed to this horrific idea, Adolf Eichmann. He organized this conference, and he will be the one tasked with implementing the monstrous decisions made at this table. Eichmann started life as a nobody. He dropped out of middle school, then failed a mechanic apprenticeship, but he possessed a relentless determination to climb the social ladder. He saw his opportunity in the early 1930s as the Nazi Party gained power. Eichmann began to rise through the ranks. In 1932, at 26, he joined the SS, Hitler's elite guard. Before the war, Eichmann took charge of the Central Office for Jewish Emigration, becoming the regime's expert in driving Jews out of German public life. But the Wannsee Conference is about something far more sinister. The attendees need only about 90 minutes to finalize their plans. Eichmann records the decisions in the official minutes. Jews are to be evacuated to Eastern Europe, some will be forced into labor. The remainder that eventually remains will require suitable treatment because it will, without doubt, represent the most resistant part. It consists of a natural selection that could, on its release, become the germ cell of a new Jewish revival. Translation: they will be killed. Eichmann is not a man who gets his hands dirty on the ground. He will organize the genocide from behind a desk. He orders the construction of gas chambers and crematoria. He oversees the complex logistics of the entire Holocaust across Europe. He gives the final green light to initiate the final solution. Every time a train is dispatched to one of his death camps, he sends a telegram to be handled in accordance with instructions for special treatment. In other words, send them to the gas chambers. Eichmann seeks maximum efficiency in killing. He optimizes the cremation process so each corpse is reduced to just 2 handfuls of ash. He even implements belt conveyors to speed up the removal of bodies from the ovens. With his bureaucratic precision, the Nazis murder 6 million people. The killing finally stops in 1945. Germany loses the war, Hitler is dead, the Nazi regime collapses. For Eichmann, the world he helped build is crumbling. His eventual capture will rely heavily on surveillance and espionage. But in our daily lives, being watched isn't justice, it's just creepy. Like the data collected by so-called data brokers, these companies vacuum up your personal information and sell it to the highest bidder. Your contact details, job history, health records, education, shopping habits, political affiliation, insurers, potential employers, even scammers can get their hands on this data and use it against you, all without your consent. Incogni fights back. It scans the internet for your data, sends out deletion requests on your behalf, and keeps the pressure on with regular follow-ups and expanding coverage. It also makes sure data brokers don't sneak your info back into their systems. You can track your progress in a neat dashboard. Head to incogni.com/Fern and use the code FERN to get an exclusive discount on a 1-year plan. You'll find the link in the description and pinned comment. Remember, no tool can guarantee 100% removal, so be smart with what you share online. Not long after the war ends, Eichmann is in Austria with his wife and 3 sons. He leaves his family with his uncle and makes a run for it. To avoid attention, he puts on the uniform of a low-ranking German Air Force soldier, calling himself Otto Barth. It's the first of many fake names he'll use. Shortly after separating from his family, Allied troops pick him up in Austria as a prisoner of war. Post-war Europe is chaotic, and security around prisoners is often lax. Eichmann escapes and heads for the German-Austrian border, but just as he tries to cross, he's picked up again by patrolling U.S. soldiers. This time, his cover is blown by a small tattoo under his left armpit, a large A indicating his blood type. Many SS men had these tattoos for emergency blood transfusions during the war. Now that ink betrays Eichmann. He can no longer deny his SS past, so he claims he was just a low-ranking nobody and changes his name again, this time to Otto Eichmann. The Americans buy his story. Instead of facing a military court, Eichmann is sent to work in a series of POW labor camps across Bavaria. He sorts food supplies, stacks ammo. Conditions aren't bad. He gets enough food, even cigarettes eventually. But he knows it's only time before someone discovers his true identity. The Allies are repeatedly questioning prisoners, so Eichmann, friends a nurse who sneaks him civilian clothes, a farmer's outfit, and a hunter's cap to help him blend in. Then he slips through the barbed wire and disappears.
After his escape, Eichmann makes his way north across Germany. Here, he reinvents himself yet again, now going by the name Otto Henninger. He works as a lumberjack, then becomes a chicken farmer. For a couple of years, no one suspects a thing. Life is decent, but he misses his wife and kids, and the constant fear of being caught is a heavy burden. He needs a real, long-term plan. One day, he spots something in the paper. A former Nazi comrade is living in Argentina. The country was one of the last to declare war on Hitler, and many Nazi criminals fled there after the war, seemingly welcomed with open arms. An acquaintance helps him contact a former SS man in Hamburg. The man tells him about the rat lines, secret escape routes used by Nazis to get out of Europe, sometimes with the help of the Catholic Church. Eichmann makes up his mind. He will go to Argentina too. He makes his way to Italy, and from there, sails to South America. Meanwhile, in Frankfurt, Fritz Bauer sits in his office. A Jewish prosecutor, Bauer has endured immense hardship. As a young judge in the 1930s, he gave fiery speeches defending democracy, making him a thorn in the Nazi side. In 1933, they imprisoned him for his political activism. He spent brutal months in a concentration camp, subjected to interrogations and beatings. Banned from the courtroom after his release, he only survived the Holocaust by fleeing the country just in time. Now, he is back in Germany, a place that haunted people like him for years. He builds a reputation as the lawyer who forces Germans to confront their dark past. He insists he seeks not revenge, but justice. On paper, West Germany is a democracy again, but the justice system is still riddled with former Nazis. Judges, prosecutors, civil servants, many served the Third Reich and remain part of a close-knit old boys network. Fritz Bauer is an outsider in this world. Every time he steps out of his office, he feels he is entering enemy territory. But this doesn't deter him. He has 2 goals. 1, help build a democratic justice system worthy of the name. 2, bring Nazi criminals to justice, no matter the cost. Fritz Bauer becomes known as a Nazi hunter, and Adolf Eichmann is at the very top of his list. Which is why this letter lands in exactly the right hands. The sender is a man in Argentina, He claims to know where Adolf Eichmann is hiding. His daughter, he writes, dated Eichmann's son, and the son bragged about his father being a big shot in the Third Reich. Eichmann, the letter alleges, lives in Buenos Aires, and it even provides a full address. But there's a significant problem. If Bauer files an official extradition request through German channels, Eichmann could easily be tipped off. Ex-Nazis within the German authorities have repeatedly warned wanted criminals, and there are entire networks of former SS officers operating in Argentina. So Bauer tells almost no one about the letter. Instead, he begins his own secret investigation. Going solo means risking his position, perhaps even breaking the law. But he is unwilling to let Eichmann escape justice. He reaches out to Israel's ambassador to Germany. Many Holocaust survivors fled to Israel. Wouldn't it be a historic achievement if this country caught and tried its very architect? Bauer offers a deal. He will provide the intelligence, and Israel will make Eichmann face the music. Israel agrees and sends a Mossad agent to Argentina to assess the situation. The agent goes to the address provided, cautiously approaching Eichmann's alleged home. He expects a grand estate, something befitting a former high-ranking Nazi official. Instead, he finds a dirt road leading to a shabby little house. The agent can't picture Adolf Eichmann living there. Doubting the intel, he returns home without digging deeper. The Israeli Secret Service starts questioning Fritz Bauer's information. Mossad tracks down the man in Argentina who wrote the letter. It turns out he's nearly blind and no longer even lives in Buenos Aires. Mossad is on the verge of pulling the plug on the entire mission. But then, something strange happens. Within just a few months, 3 different people reach out to Bauer: Germany's ambassador to Argentina, an official at the Federal Criminal Police Office, and the head of Germany's main agency for investigating war crimes. All 3 deliver the same message. There's no way Adolf Eichmann is in Argentina. He's probably somewhere in the Middle East. Bauer immediately knows something is deeply wrong. All 3 of these men have Nazi pasts. This must be exactly what he always suspected: the old boys network in action, actively trying to mislead the investigation. But Bauer has an idea. In late 1959, he issues a press release claiming that Eichmann is hiding in Kuwait, supposedly working for a local sheik, and that Germany is about to request his extradition. It's a calculated trap, designed to make Eichmann feel safe in Argentina. Behind closed doors, Bauer keeps pushing the Israelis to follow the Argentine lead. Eichmann's capture feels within reach, but just as it's about to happen, Israel hesitates. Snatching him without an official extradition request could spark a diplomatic crisis. Israel is a young state, still fighting to earn its place on the political world stage. Yet they have a real chance to bring down a high-profile Nazi criminal. They cannot let this slip away. So the Prime Minister ultimately gives the green light. The mission is a go, but it must remain absolutely secret. This means they will have to kidnap Eichmann. Mossad investigators track down Eichmann's new whereabouts. Some former neighbors end up tipping off one of their contacts. An agent heads to Garibaldi Street in San Fernando, a suburb north of Buenos Aires. He secretly snaps pictures of the house and of the man who lives there. Neighbors say this man is Ricardo Clement. That's the same alias Eichmann used when he first fled to South America, according to Bauer's files. But the agent isn't 100% sure it's him. The most recent photos they have of Eichmann are from over 15 years ago. However, the man is living with a woman and 2 kids whose ages match those of Eichmann's wife and sons. He also observes them celebrating what looks like a 25-year wedding anniversary. That too lines up with the intelligence on Eichmann. Putting it all together, Mossad is convinced this is Adolf Eichmann.
7 agents are selected for the abduction team. Nearly all of them lost family members in the Holocaust. They're driven by a fierce determination to catch him. They know Eichmann works at a Mercedes-Benz plant and takes the same bus home every night. One of the agents is specifically tasked with grabbing him. He wears gloves, not just because it's cool, but because the sheer thought of touching the architect of the Holocaust with his bare hands makes him sick. Now Eichmann walks towards his house. He's getting closer to one of the parked cars. The agents suspect he might be armed. The agent with the gloves addresses Eichmann in Spanish. Then he attacks. The 2 men fall to the ground, rolling into the ditch. Another agent rushes in. Together, they overpower Eichmann, blindfold him, and shove him into the back of their car. The entire operation takes less than a minute. They take him to a safe house and begin questioning him. He insists his name is Ricardo Clement, but Fritz Bauer has provided the agents with ample intel to uncover his true identity, his height, his head circumference, and most importantly, the SS tattoo indicating his blood type. There is only a scar where the tattoo should be. Everything else checks out. Upon further questioning, the man claims his name is Otto Henninger. That's another alias Eichmann used right after the war. The agents hatch a plan. They know Eichmann is a stickler for detail, a bureaucrat obsessed with records. So they ask their prisoner about Eichmann's SS numbers, intentionally slipping in an error. 45526? Eichmann, unable to resist correcting them, blurts out, "No, it was 45326. Bingo. Eichmann gives himself away. Now the Mossad agents know for certain they have captured the right man. Eichmann agrees to stand trial in Israel. The plan is to smuggle him out of the country. They arrange a special flight with Israel's national airline, El Al. An Israeli delegation will fly to Buenos Aires for Argentina's national anniversary celebrations. The agents plan to sneak Eichmann onto the plane for the return trip. Disguised as a member of the cabin crew, they sedate him and dress him in a uniform. They pretend he's part of the crew who had a bit too much to drink. To sell the act, other agents pile into the car with him, also posing as drunk. The airport guards laughingly wave them through. Everything goes smoothly. The fake crew members deposit Eichmann in first-class window seat, with the doctor seated next to him. Then the plane takes off. Once the plane leaves Argentinian airspace, a voice comes over the loudspeaker. Adolf Eichmann is on board this aircraft, and he is en route to stand trial in Israel. After 15 years on the run, the man who helped murder millions will finally be brought to justice. Back in Frankfurt, Fritz Bauer is sitting in a restaurant, desperately waiting for a contact to bring him news on Eichmann. The man is running late. He finally bursts through the door half an hour later and blurts out, "Eichmann is in Israel, in custody." Bauer hugs him tight, tears streaming down his face. Just hours later, Israeli Prime Minister David Ben-Gurion stands before the press and announces the mission's success to the world. The Eichmann trial begins 1 year after the abduction in Jerusalem. It's a monumental event across Israel. People gather around radios to follow the proceedings. International TV crews tape everything. Chief Prosecutor Gideon Hausner opens with a statement that will resonate through history. "When I stand before you, judges of Israel, in this court to accuse Adolf Eichmann, I do not stand alone. Here with me at this moment stand 6 million prosecutors, but alas, they cannot rise to level the finger of accusation in the direction of the glass dock and cry out, 'J'accuse,' to which Eichmann responds, cold and unfazed.